Bhagavata today, so there's no German Chaitanya Bhagavata. So Irina is also.
I have to find that.
But I will speak. It's no problem. So we have also Irina here, so everything is arranged by the Lord. De Heer had alles arrangiert. So first we'll read from Transcendental Diary, Hari Sori Prabhu, or Transcendental Pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. Yesterday in class, Prabhupada mentioned how the power of mantra had been verified by some doctors in Lucknow, but he didn't tell us how. Today he related the story. So Prabhupada was speaking to the devotees. Prabhupada was speaking to the devotees that some doctor from Lucknow is in
Which date you reading?
17. September 1976.
Mittendrin.
Ende erste Paragraph. Oh, Entschuldigung, zweite Paragraph. Yesterday in class. So Prabhupada said that there's some doctor verified the power of the mantra, but he didn't say how. And today he is telling how. Just like sometimes the snake charming mantra can be purchased in the market, but if you do not make yourself perfect about chanting the mantra, it will not be effective. I'll give you one practical instance. It is not a story, it is a fact. Perhaps some of you know my friend who came here, Dr. Ghosh. He told me there was a case in Lucknow University. There was a student. There were students. So there's a big building and 2-3 snake biting case happened in the university. Imagine this happened in Köln University. Bites, 3 snake bites. There'll be alarm, there'll be a national alarm, there'll be experts coming. There'll be experts from all over the world coming to eradicate the snakes. But in India at that time, there was no problem. Just 3 snakes, not much. So there's a big building and 2 or 3 snake biting case happened. So some snake charmer was invited to find out the snake and take him. No doctors, no fire brigades, snake charmer. So he came and took away the snake. So snake charmer did the job. Then Dr. Ghosh and his class friends, they were medical students. Naturally, the so-called modern scientists, they do not believe in all these things. So they became very inquisitive. All of them went to the snake charmer. He was a Mohammedan gentleman, so he was Muslim. He knew that these medical students, they've come to see the fun, how the snakes are charmed. So they inquired, what is the magic that you can catch up a snake and snake cannot do any harm to you? Imagine you have a power of a snake, you just said, come here, and snake just, okay, with folded hands, coming to you, without biting. And he said, it is possible by mantra. By mantra. So they challenged, oh, you're snakes, I think they're poisonless and they cannot bite. The poison teeth, the fang is taken away, the fangs. Man said, no, they've got everything. He took one and showed, here it is. So to make fun, he had many snakes. And he let them all come out of the box. And immediately all over the courtyard they began to run. And these medical students, they became afraid. They were fleeing this side, that side, this side. So the charmer said, don't be afraid. So long I'm here, they will not bite you. There's a Shakti. He's not only charming, but he has a Shakti. As long as he's there, they're not biting. So this was spoken by Dr. Ghosh, a personal experience. The mantra has got so much power. But not that you purchase the mantra and chant. That will not. You have to make it perfect. There is process how to become perfect in chanting the mantra. So we have, we give free mantras, Hare Krishna mantra, to anybody, and still people don't take it. Maybe if you start selling it, it will be more people will buy it more, because people value something which they can pay for. They think, I gave my hard working money, so I have to. But this mantra, what we chant, is a free mantra. And of course, it's by far more powerful than this mantra snake charmer had. This was just a material example, Prabhupada said. If he seriously chanted the Maha Mantra, which is completely spiritual, then the effect would be unlimited. He said that if he chanted properly only once, the Hare Krishna mantra can destroy more sins than the most sinful person can commit in a whole lifetime. One mantra sincerely. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's it. For this life, all our sinful activities are completely destroyed. Nama parada shunyam, without any nama parad. If we chant according to the principle, then the mantra will act so nicely that the mantra will keep you always in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the power of mantra. Don't think it is a hobby or it is something superfluous. Actually, this mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, is Krishna himself. So, if you're allowed to keep yourself constantly in the company with Krishna, then just imagine what is your position. If you keep yourself always near the fire, certainly you shall remain warm. There will be no attack of cold or anything like that. If we constantly chant the Hare Krishna mantra, if we are not in this, then we are not in this material world. But if you purposely again come to the material world, that independence we have got. So this is here displaying the power of the mantra. This Maha Mantra, what we chant, is extremely powerful, so much powerful that it is actually not different from Krishna. And Krishna is not limited. There is no limit to Krishna. This is again one of those concepts which we cannot, difficult to understand. How can Krishna be unlimited? You know, if he is unlimited, that means that Krishna is always expanding. So how can something always expand? It says this, even if the devotee become perfect, he cannot still understand the glories of the Lord, because the Lord's glory is always expanding. So how do you fathom this? This is not possible. But at least we will be in contact with Krishna. And Prabhupada says, if we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, we'll be constantly in the association of Krishna. So if you're constantly in the association of Krishna, then something may happen, you know, some positive may happen to us. We were speaking yesterday, day before yesterday, with Ram Bhakta Prabhu, how will people accept us? You know, if we are devotees, it looks strange. But the point is, if they just associate with devotees over and over and over and over again, then the people, after some time, they will become, the Hare Krishna devotees. This is the most normal thing to do. So this is the process. Constantly keep ourselves in touch with Krishna, and then when we come in contact with some other people, then naturally people will, when they speak to us, they will hear about Krishna. If you go out on book distribution, then you are not giving some, you know, I don't know, some song or some mundane song. You're giving Krishna. And when people meet you, you are so, this is a book about Krishna. So this is the power of our mantra, the power of our process. And Prabhupada gives example, even if the snake, you can charm the snakes. It's such a difficult thing to charm the snake. I mean, anybody charm the snake? Did you charm the snake? No? It's very, I don't know, very difficult to charm the snake. And you can do it by mantra, not by meditation, but mantra. We know in the Mahabharata that these mantras, you can actually, you know, create a rain weapon or foam weapon or whatever weapon, you know, by chanting mantra. That's amazing. You don't just have an arrow, you just chant the mantra, and from this mantra comes out all these amazing weapons. So the power of mantra is very, very amazing. And we have the Maha Mantra, the best, the greatest mantra of all the mantras. So therefore we should try to chant it. Always chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, anything else we'd like to? Should we go on the chat and chat? Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, ich spreche Deutsch.
Also auf Deutsch, okay.
Ja. Wegen Mantren, es ist wirklich so, dass Mantren sind sehr, sehr kräftig, wenn man daran bleibt und daran glaubt. Es gibt Vorhersagen, dass in unserem goldenen Zeitalter, das wir jetzt in Kali Yuga haben, werden Brahmanas imstande sein, mit Hilfe von Mantras Feuer anzünden. Wir brauchen dann keine Feuerzeuge mehr.
So Brahmanas in der Zukunft, wenn wir vergessen die Feuerzeug, wenn wir forget the Feuerzeug, we forget wie sagt man Feuerzeug, lighter for the Aratik, then we just call Brahmana, Brahmanas and when the fire comes and you can do the Aratik. So this is the future of the ISKCON Brahmanas, but it's so powerful because they chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Anyways, this may happen, if, as Prabhupada says, the children of our children will become pure devotees. So soon, but not maybe in our lifetime, but soon it will happen. Skoro. So let's read the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shuni Sarvabhuma Mane Vichara Karila. Vaishnava Sannyasi no Bachane Janila. Shuni Sarvabhuma Mane Vichara Karila. Vaishnava Sannyasi no Bachane Janila. Okay, we have a few verses to read, so just this one can be quickly read. Shuni Sarvabhuma Mane Vichara Karila.
Vaishnava Sannyasi no Bachane Janila.
Vaishnava Sannyasi no Bachane Janila. This is how Bengalis read it. Shuni Sarvabhuma Mane Vichara Karila. Vaishnava Sannyasi no Bachane Janila. Ladies. Shuni Sarvabhuma Mane Vichara Karila. Vaishnava Sannyasi no Bachane Janila. Shuni Sarvabhuma Mane Vichara Karila. Vaishnava Sannyasi no Bachane Janila. Shuni, hearing this. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Mane, within the mind. Vichara Karila, considered. Vaishnava Sannyasi. Vaishnava Sannyasi. Inho, this person. Vachane, by words. Janila, understood. Hearing these words, Sarvabhuma understood Lord Chaitanya to be a Vaishnava Sannyasi. If you remember, we stopped last Sunday, we were reading how Lord Chaitanya actually came to Puri and he fainted unconscious in front of Lord Jagannath, and Sarvabhuma Bhattacharya brought him to his home, and he was putting the cotton swab in front of his nostril to see if he's breathing, because he was not moving, but because he put the cotton and then the cotton was moving slightly, so that means there was air in the body. So Lord Chaitanya regained his consciousness, and then Sarvabhauma said, Namo Narayanaya. He offered obeisance to him as Narayan because he was a sannyasi, and in Mayavada sannyasi they addressed each other as Om Namo Narayanaya. That I offer obeisance to you because you are Narayan. And Lord Chaitanya said, no, Om Namo Narayan. Krishna Matur Asti, Krishna Matir Astu. Meaning, may you always remember Krishna. So this was a different reply. So this is now continuation from this. So when he heard this, Sarvabhauma thought, oh, he's a Vaishnava because Krishna Matir Asti. So Sarvabhauma, next verse 50. You don't need to change. You can just read. Sarvabhauma said to Gopinath Acharya, I want to know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's previous situation. He wanted to know what was Lord Chaitanya's previous, what did he do before he, became sannyasi? Because he took sannyas very young, 24 years old. This is also not so common to take sannyas so young. Indeed, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told him, you took sannyas so young, so this is not good for you. Because why? Because the young people have natural pride. So he said, you're young, and so you're naturally proud. So this is not good for a sannyasi to be proud. So Gopinath Acharya replied, in the previous life, there was a name Jagannath who was a resident of Navadvip and whose surname was Mishra Purandara. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the son of this Jagannath Mishra, and his former name was Vishvambara Mishra. He also happened to be the grandson of Nilambara Chakravarti. So Bhattacharya said, oh, Nilambara Chakravarti was a classmate of my father, Maheshwara Visharada. He knew him as such. Jagannath Mishra Purandara was respected by my father because of their relationship with my father. I respect both Jagannath Mishra and Nilambara Chakravarti. So the world is small as usual. He knew in Puri who was his father. He met his father.
Where are you reading now?
Chaitamrita.
Purport?
No, just verses. There's no purport.
Verse.
There is no purport. Hearing the I'm reading from text 55. Hearing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belonged to Nadia district, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became pleased and addressed the Lord as follows. You are naturally respectable, besides you are a sannyasi, thus I wish to become your personal servant. So Sarvabhauma said, you are a sannyasi, I'll become your personal servant. Prabhupada says, a sannyasi is always worshipped and offered all kinds of respect by the Grihastha householders. Although Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was older than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma respected him as a sannyasi and as one who has attained the topmost platform of spiritual ecstasy. Thus the Bhattacharya accepted him as his master. As soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard from Bhattacharya that he said, I am your servant, he immediately remembered Lord Vishnu and began to speak humbly to him as follows. So what do you think what Lord Chaitanya replied? Yes, I accept your service, or something else?
No.
He said, because you are teacher of Vedanta philosophy, you are the master of all the people, you are also the benefactor of all kinds of sannyasis. I am a young sannyasi and I have no knowledge of what is good and what is bad. Therefore I am taking shelter of you and accepting you as my spiritual master. So Lord Chaitanya replied with his humility, you are this knowledgeable person, you are the Vedantist, teacher of Vedanta, I will become your disciple. And then Lord Chaitanya went, he said, I came here only to associate with you. This is the reason why I came to Puri. And now I'm taking shelter of you. Will you kindly maintain me in all respects? He said, this incident that happened today, because Lord Chaitanya went to Puri, to the Jagannath temple, and he fainted when he saw Lord Jagannath. And then the guards wanted to beat him. And so Sarvabhauma was there and he saved him. And he said, this is a great obstacle for me, but you have kindly saved me. The Bhattacharya replied, "Do not go alone to see the deity of Jagannath temple. It's better to go with me or my man." And then the Lord says, "I shall never enter the temple, but shall always view the Lord from the side of Garuda Stamba." So this is interesting because I looked at this, why Lord Chaitanya never entered the temple, why he stayed at Garuda Stamba. Anybody, have you been to Puri temple? No? Anybody? Any Indian? No. You have been inside? You've been? You can. Ram Bhakta just go like this.
You can also go to the Puri.
Yeah, we can.
You're not Indian.
Huh?
But you're not Indian.
No, it's not about like mostly Indian. They consider like skin color like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's like that.
No, we're not allowed to enter the temple.
What if someone's Indian and he doesn't look
Yeah, like my roommate, like if you know Nandakumar and Pundrik, even they were not allowed, even though they are half Indians.
No, half Indian cannot go. Indira Gandhi could not enter the temple actually. Indira Gandhi was the president, she was the president of India because she was married to an Italian.
Yeah, that's right.
And she was not allowed to enter the temple. You know, imagine, president of India not allowed to enter the temple because she's impure. Yeah. Anyways, so the point is, I'm asking this because I don't know how far is Garuda Stamba from the Jagannath, you know, and Garuda Stamba is inside of the temple. And Lord Chaitanya said, "I will never pass this Garuda Stamba," and the reason is because if he comes closer to Jagannath, he will run to embrace him, and then the guards will beat him with sticks. So they were all like, so. But I read today, I was looking, you know. And in official Shri Kshetra website, this is website of the Jagannath temple, I said that Lord Chaitanya was at first, he came to the temple and he fainted and they wanted to beat him, so he became angry at the Lord. He said, "I am such a great devotee and you are not allowing me to see you closely, so I will stay from a distance." Completely different story. So we should, these stories, you know, if there's a story, we should always confirm it to be the Vaishnava source. Because from the other sources you can have all kinds of ideas or all kinds of strange stories. Therefore we always confirm. We don't, like for example in Vrindavan there's so many songs, these Brijbasi songs. We don't know who made this song, what kind of intention they have, and what kind of understanding of Krishna they had. So therefore we stick to the acharyas, to our acharyas, who actually authorize. We have Narottam Das Thakur songs, Bhaktivinoda Thakur songs. We stick to these songs because they authorized songs. Prabhupada wanted us to sing these authorized songs. This is just a short lesson. So I just want to... Anyways, maybe I just stop here. As far as reading, I wanted to a little bit to describe this travel of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Jagannath Puri when they were in Mayapur and they were going to Jagannath Puri. So many things happened on the way to Jagannath Puri. This is amazing. In the Chaitanya Bhagavata it is described. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu one day, he said to his devotees, "I'm going to Nilachala, Jagannath Puri, Haribol. It was nice to see you, and I will be back very soon." And we know this is Krishna's famous trick. He says, "I'm leaving for a few days, and I'll be back in 2-3 days." When he was going to Mathura, he said, "I'm just going to kill Kamsa, and I'll be back in 2, maybe 3 days the most, maximum." And all the devotees said, "Yeah." And he never actually came, you know. So the similar story, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I'm going to Nilachala, do not feel unhappy. You know. I just want to see the Jagannath and I'll come back. No problem. You know. And he said, just go home, you all go home and chant Hare Krishna, and this is all everything will be good. And what happened? All the devotees start following Lord Chaitanya. Nobody stayed home. So he was going with a huge crew. And Lord Chaitanya said, I cannot go like this. So he selected few devotees to come. So one of them was Lord Nityananda and some other devotees. But devotees understood that Lord Chaitanya wants to go, and they said, okay, whatever you like, you are a completely independent personality. You can do whatever you want, and therefore if you desire to go, who can stop you? Who can stop you at all? So, because it's Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati gives this very nice verse from Chandogya Upanishad. He said, he whose desire always come to pass. This is the name of Krishna. Satya Sankalpa. Whose desire is always fulfilled. We have in material world we have so many desires, but some of them are fulfilled, most of them are unfulfilled. Most of our desires are fulfilled. I don't know anybody who says all my desires are fulfilled. We all have desires, these yearnings. But Krishna, whatever he desires, it's immediately happening. Satya Sankalpa. So they say, who can stop you? If you desire to go to Puri, you will go to Puri. We cannot stop you. But please bring some of us with you. So he took some devotees with him. So they travel, and the first they went to some, they were going to some villages, from village to village. And then the landlord from there, they said, please do not go to this road, it's very, very dangerous. Because the Muslim king and the Hindu king attacked each other, and there's all kinds of gundas on the road, and it's very, very dangerous. I was just thinking, imagine, this is Lord Chaitanya, God himself. He lived in such a dangerous situation. We have nothing. We have a wonderful. We have peaceful. You can go on the street on Harinam, policemen will wave to you. Everything is. We have a very nice situation as devotees. I said in Chaitanya time that was very, very dangerous. But comparing to this, we have it very nice, very easy life. Even how it was in the 70s, there was no policeman who will tell you, oh, you're Hare Krishna, I will arrest you. No such a thing. They will say, oh, very nice. We just went to Padayatra in Austria, in Österreich. And then we entered one town, and within 10 minutes, 3 or 4 people called the police. Oh, there's somebody singing on the street. They called the police, because we sang on the street. So police came, and the lady was so friendly, and they said, oh, I like yoga. And I said, leave these people alone, these are old people. I like you singing, I like the, yoga, meditation. She was almost joined us in Harinam. So this is a different times now. So we should be appreciative how much good time we have, actually. Because in there you can get killed, Lord Chaitanya. So anyways, so what happened next is, what did he say?
In Abu Dhabi, we can be killed.
Yes. I don't know, killed, but jail for sure. Huh? In the Gulf countries.
For what?
Harinam.
For going to Harinam.
On the streets.
So,
Maybe you need permissions.
which you will never get. Anyways, let's read further. So Lord Chaitanya this is important also, but before Lord Chaitanya left, he embraced every Vaishnava. Every single Vaishnava devotee embraced, and Lord Chaitanya embraced. Meaning that Lord Chaitanya wants to show affection to every devotee. Every devotee is very dear to Lord Chaitanya. Anyway, so then what is interesting is that before they start going, he had this group of few devotees, and he said, before you leave, I want to ask you something. Do you have any food with you? You know, because when we travel, we make some sandwiches for the trip, you know. So they asked devotees, do you have any food? And devotees knew that Lord Chaitanya is a sannyasi, you know. So they said, no, we don't have anything. They're very afraid to bring anything. And Lord Chaitanya was very pleased. He said, yes, very nice. He said, what kind of renunciant we would be if you could bring food with you, carry the food with you. He said, we should actually depend on Krishna. Indeed, interesting enough, I don't know if any temple follows this in the world of ISKCON, but Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted his temples in Gaudiya Math, whatever money they collect that day, to spend it by the evening. To all the spend. And then in the morning they have zero. So that means that they have to go again and collect money that day. And then again collect and spend. And the reason is that in this way devotees will keep always fresh challenge to serve Krishna next day. I don't think anybody can do this. You know. I don't think anybody, any temple, any temple can do this. And the reason why Lord Chaitanya wanted to teach him, because he said, without the Lord's sanction, without the Lord's permission, one may not be able to even eat, even if there is food. You may have a quarrel with somebody, or you may get sick or something like this, but you will not be able to even eat, even if there is food. So he said, Krishna has supplied food for the whole three worlds. If Krishna desires, one will eat. If Krishna does not desire, one will not eat. So he gives very nice verse. Bhojana chadane chintam vrita kurvanti vaishnavahyo sao vishvambaro deva sakim bhaktanupekshate. Vaishnavas do not uselessly worry about food or clothing. Because they are devoted to the Supreme Lord. And Lord is known as Vishvambara, he who supplies everyone's needs. So this is even before they started the journey, Lord Chaitanya was teaching them like this. Anyway, so then Lord Chaitanya, they were traveling to different places, to villages, and they came to one village, and this is an interesting story because I never heard this before in my life, but I guess everything is possible in India. There's the village Chhatrabhoga, and this village was famous for Lord Shiva, the deity of Lord Shiva. But this deity is very unusual because this deity is made of water. Did you ever hear the deity made of water? I never heard the deity made of water. And how is it? This is the story Lord Chaitanya gives. Once Lord Shiva was wandering the earth, and then suddenly he started feeling separation from Ganga. Because, you know, the Ganga fell on his head, and so he felt separation from Ganga, and he was wondering, when can I meet Ganga? When can I serve Ganga again? And then, by his wandering, he came to this village of Chhatrabhoga. And this is the place where Ganga actually flows. So when Lord Shiva saw Ganga, he immediately jumped into Ganga and became himself water so he can serve Ganga. So this place is the deity of Shiva in the form of water. Hare Krishna. That would be interesting how, you know.
Is there a temple?
I've never been there, I don't know. But I was very surprised myself. I'm sure there's a temple, you know. Village of Chhatrabhoga. Chhatrabhoga ki Jaya. Anyways, so then what happened? He said whenever Lord Chaitanya would take bath, you know, his clothes would be wet. Then devotees will give him new clothes, dry clothes. But soon, because he was always crying in separation from Krishna, his clothes would become wet immediately. So Lord Chaitanya's clothes was always wet, either by by the tears or by bathing in the holy rivers. So then once what happened is he met they came to some village, and the Bürgermeister, the mayor of the village, they came out and he was greeting Lord Chaitanya, and he realized this is a great saint, because this is the one thing that everybody was always impressed with Lord Chaitanya. They did not know who he is, they did not know his philosophy, but when they saw Lord Chaitanya crying for Krishna, they would just say, oh, this is not an ordinary person, this is a very, very amazing person. So he came and he said, I can do anything for you, how can I serve you? And he said, they need to cross the river, and but it was very dangerous, so he arranged something very dangerous situation for Lord Chaitanya and his crew to cross the river. So what happened is they went to this boatman, and the boatman the Lord Chaitanya became more excited. He said, oh, we are going to Jagannath. He started singing and dancing. So they went to the boat, and Lord Chaitanya started dancing in the boat. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. And these devotees also started dancing very loud. Your kirtan can be very loud. Like I can hear upstairs when kirtan is up, because I'm preparing there and I'm listening when is kirtan over, because I hear, you can hear, and I was thinking, man, these neighbors, they can also hear very well. So we devotees, we can be very loud without mridangas and kartals. So he was singing, they were all singing, and the boatman was thinking, oh my God, we'll get killed. First of all, we'll get killed because devotees are dancing, the boat will fall, and once we fall, the crocodiles will eat us. And second of all, even if you make it to the other side, there are all kinds of soldiers, they will hear the loud kirtan, they will kill us. So then he said to Lord Chaitanya, can you please, be quiet? Imagine you tell Lord Chaitanya to quiet down the kirtan. But what happened? Lord Chaitanya was completely oblivious. He could not even understand. He was just floating in ecstasy, and nobody really understood. So then devotees become a little more, cool, because you can get killed. Devotees were afraid for Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya said, "Why are you afraid?" He said, also another reason why he was afraid, the boatman, because they did not go to the proper side, where usually the boat goes. So they went to the illegal side. And this illegal side go through the forest. And this is the part of the forest where there's tigers. So he said, we'll either eaten by tigers, or if you fall down, we'll eaten by crocodiles, or we'll be killed by soldiers. So one of the three deaths is awaiting us. So he was very much afraid, So, but Lord Chaitanya said, Lord Chaitanya was dancing, and then he suddenly woke up from his trance, and he said, "Why are you afraid? Can't you see the Sudarshan Chakra is following us?" This was Lord Chaitanya's argument. He said, "Do not see the Sudarshan is guarding us." So when the devotees heard that, they start chanting even more. And then, so this was the point Lord Chaitanya wanted to make, that actually devotees are always protected. And he said, and how are devotees protected? This is only known by the Lord Himself. Because we can never understand how does Lord protect devotees. How what is His mind? He said, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati uses this example of sometimes devotees who are very dear to Him, Lord Chaitanya neglects them. So it's very difficult to understand how is Lord what kind of love Lord Chaitanya expresses towards His devotees. So, next thing is, whenever they went, Lord Chaitanya would stay in somebody's house, if there's some devotee, they would cook there, and then we'll have a kirtan. And this usually kirtan in the evening lasts about 9 hours. We had a Harinam the other day, how many? 2.5 hours? 2.5 hours. And somebody says this was very long, a little bit too long. Imagine 9 hours of Harinam, you know. This is Lord Chaitanya, you know. Lord Chaitanya would just dance. He said they would take prasadam and they would dance, they would have a dance until morning, you know. And then morning they would leave. So not much sleeping, mostly chanting and dancing, eating prasadam and dancing. So this was Lord Chaitanya's program. What is interesting that it says that the path from one village to Jagannath Puri is supposed to last something like 1.5 hours. It took them over 9 hours because they were so ecstatic, you know, they fall unconscious and they have to wake them up, and you know, it's not easy with Lord Chaitanya to travel with Lord Chaitanya. Anyway, so then one day they were on the bank of the river, and Jagadananda Pandit actually also traveled with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he said, Nityananda here, because Jagadananda Pandit was taking care of Lord Chaitanya's danda. And he said, I have to go and cook for the Lord. Please, I entrust you to take care of this danda. This is the very, very wrong thing to do, to entrust Lord Nityananda. You know. And Lord Nityananda said, yeah, I will take care of it. Yes, I will take care of it. He said, when Lord Nityananda took the danda, he was holding danda and was looking danda, and he started laughing. You know, this is the... so then he said following things. Oh danda, he speaks to the danda now. Oh danda, it's not proper that you have been carried by the one who's supposed to be, you know, who is within my heart. He said, I carry him in my heart and he is carrying you. This is not appropriate. Then Lord Nityananda took the danda and broke it into 3 pieces. So when Jagadananda Pandit cooked everything, he came back and he saw the danda broken. He said, what did you do? He was really angry on Nityananda. He says, what did you do? Who broke this danda? And Nityananda said, one who carries the danda, he broke the danda. What kind of answer? You know, what can you do? You know, Nityananda broke the danda. You know. It is said that only Nityananda Balaram can break the danda. Only he has the power to break Lord Chaitanya's danda. No other person can break the Lord Chaitanya's danda. So then Lord Chaitanya came back. No, sorry. Jagadananda Pandit took these broken pieces of danda and he went to Lord Chaitanya and put it in his hand. He said, look, what happened? And Lord Chaitanya said, Jagadananda, what happened? Did you break the danda? Did you fight with somebody so you had to break the danda? And they said, no, Nityananda broke the danda. And Nityananda said, I only broke the piece of bamboo. I didn't break the danda, I just broke a piece of bamboo. So this is interesting also because there's a meaning. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati gives really good meaning of why this danda was broken. So this danda is a 3 danda. Devotees having 3 dandis, not eka dandis. 3 dandis is devotees who control karma, namana, savacha, activities, mind, and the speech. So these 3 has to be controlled. And this says this eka danda is combined form of 3 danda. So he wanted to mention how those who carry eka dandas, these Mayavadi sannyasis, they're actually in the same reality as 3 dandis, you know, meaning they are not separated as 3 dandis. This is the one thing. And then it is the duty of Paramahamsa to renounce the danda. Because sannyas means you are still part of the Varnashram Dharma. And Paramahamsa is beyond the Varnashram Dharma. So therefore it is a duty when someone is Paramahamsa just to give up the Danda. This is another reason. And then the Lord says, but how can you break the Danda? It's not a bamboo, it's all the demigods are residing in the Danda. Anyway, so Lord Nityananda said, yeah, I understood the Krishna's mind and so on and so forth. But Lord Nityananda said, you actually broke the Danda. And Lord Chaitanya was just smiling. He understood. Because ultimately Lord Nityananda does only what is pleasing to Lord Chaitanya. What Lord Chaitanya's desire is. He would never do something which is not. And then Lord Chaitanya was in the end very pleased and he said, you should all respect Lord Nityananda. The body of Nityananda is more important to me than my own body. Imagine. So we have a Gaurnita on the altar. So there's a competition who is more praising each other glories. Another interesting pastime is when Lord Chaitanya was going in one village and they made one Shakta. Shakta is the one who worship Durga. And as soon as he saw Lord Chaitanya, he said, oh, you are also Shakta. You come from Bengal, you must be Shakta. And Lord Chaitanya said, yes, I'm also Shakta. So they start speaking about this. And Lord Chaitanya said, I know this person, I know that person. So Shakta thought, oh, he's also a worshipper of Durga, the Lord Chaitanya. And he said, tonight you should come to my house to drink some bliss. Ananda. This is Ananda. Ananda. Meaning to drink wine, And Lord Chaitanya was laughing, and he said, yes, of course. Of course they never went. But the point is that Lord Chaitanya wanted to expose that actually he was not into these abominable things, like drinking wine. So what happened then is amazing. So many things happen on the road. I'm just also cutting it down a little bit. So when Lord Chaitanya was coming close to Puri, he told his devotees, I want to go alone. So either you go in front of me or you go behind me. So the devotee said, we go behind you because they don't want to miss Lord Chaitanya. If they go ahead of him, he may go somewhere else. So the devotees stayed back. And the Lord went. And so when the Lord saw the chakra, the flag from a distance, he recited this verse. And this is the verse. Just look at the top of the temple. There, in the form of a cowherd boy, Lord Krishna is looking at me and smiling sweetly. In this way, the beauty of his face is increasing. So this is the verse Lord Chaitanya was reciting when he saw the chakra. Because when he saw the chakra, he actually saw Krishna there in the chakra. It is said in the various Puranas that whoever offer obeisance to the chakra, when they see chakra from a distance, offer obeisance to chakra, you will get liberated from material existence. Amazing. Just by seeing chakra, not even Jagannath, just chakra. So the Lord says, just see, at the top of the temple, Sri Bala Gopal is looking at me and smiling. So all the devotees also start chanting this mantra before they enter. And so then Lord Chaitanya went alone. And interesting enough, as I said it last time, this verse, Ishvara Ichchaya Sarvabhuma Kale. This is Ishvara Ichcha. Ichcha means the will. Said, but the will of the Lord, when he entered the temple, Sarvabhuma Bhattacharya was in the temple. So as soon as he saw the deity of Jagannath, he immediately saw Krishna playing flute, and he was running to embrace him, and he jumped, and he lost consciousness, and he fell on the ground. And immediately the guards wanted to beat him. The reason is why guards wanted to beat him is because he's disrupting the worship of Lord Jagannath. So imagine with these bamboo sticks, they must hurt bamboo sticks a lot. Have you been beaten by a bamboo stick? No?
Piece of stick, like,
Piece of stick.
like my teacher was beaten from top to bottom.
Oh.
My teacher had beaten me from top to bottom.
Poor Veni mother.
14 years.
14. I saw in Delhi I saw the policeman standing with a bamboo stick, and there was an illegal passage, the motorcycles are going, and he's just waiting, bam, bam, with this stick, like must be so bad hurting, So this is how they beat, with a bamboo stick. There is also bamboo stick experience. You have a bamboo stick experience?
Not bamboo stick exactly, but then.
You don't have. You're from the city. Are you from the south?
I was good boy.
Are you from the south?
I was good boy.
Are you a good boy? Anyways, so the point is that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, as soon as he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, no human being can exhibit such potency. This is not possible for a human being. He immediately realized that Lord Chaitanya has the ecstatic love of Krishna. So, anyways, so this is Lord Chaitanya immediately. Sarvabhauma pick up Lord Chaitanya. But interesting enough, who picked up Lord Chaitanya? These are the same people who carry Jagannath. When Jagannath comes out of this thing, this going back and forth. And these people who carry Jagannath, these same people carried Lord Chaitanya to Sarvabhauma's house. So this is, I thought it was interesting, They're engaged eternally. This is their service, These are the Shabaras, they're a caste of this, how you can neither caste, there's an out of caste actually. They are cleaning and there's like a lowest, but they are somehow carried Jagannath. And the reason is why they carried Jagannath is because many years ago, when King Indradyumna established the worship of Lord Jagannath, after several generations the standards fell, as always we see. It happens. The standards go down and not many people are there. In the end, there was nobody there. So who's going to take the Jagannath out? So they took these strong people, because they're strong, to carry Jagannath. So they carried Jagannath, and this became a tradition. And now, even nowadays, this is the tradition, the family of these, of caste, outcast, whatever the caste they are. They're not Shudras, I think they're out of Shudras. They're carrying the Jagannath. This is their seva for Jagannath. And they carried Lord Chaitanya also. Anyway, so then Lord Chaitanya later on, maybe next week, whoever reads, you will see that Lord Chaitanya was discussing philosophy with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Anyways, just a little bit, I thought it was interesting, this journey from Mayapur to Puri. And there's so many also details, how Lord Chaitanya ate, how he was ecstatic, and how his devotees are very much caring for Lord Chaitanya. They could not bear the separation of Lord Chaitanya, that he goes and they don't know. Anyways, that's it basically. But water, Shiva in the form of water, I never heard this. This is a huge discovery for me today. This is the hit of the day. Anyways, any questions or any kind, or any comment of any kind? Yes.
So that outcast that carried Lord Jagannath really got liberated after, just liberated because they were carrying Jagannath. When you die, they're directed to the spiritual world.
Let us translate. When Lokanath Maharaj started Padayatra in ISKCON, he had two bulls with huge horns, and they went to Padayatra to some villages, I don't know, for 1 year. I think first Padayatra was 1 year or something like this. So when they came back and they presented to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada says, these bulls will go back to Godhead. Bulls, oxen. They will go back to Godhead because they did this amazing service. So if they can go back to Godhead, bulls, so people can also go back to Godhead. So that's why it's always good to, to do service, to pull the cart when it's Rath Yatra, to carry. When we were in Wiesbaden 2-3 years ago, they don't have a Rath Yatra, but they have this Palanquin Yatra. So we carried Balaram at least for one round, so at least some service, So hopefully Balaram will be pleased with us. Everybody gets. Also Prabhupada says once in Vrindavan, there was early days, you can read it in, I don't know exactly where, that one Mataji, there was an old temple of Krishna, and this Mataji, old woman, was going to Yamuna every day and fill up this brass pitcher with water. This is like, 5 liters or so. So she would go to Yamuna in the morning, carry the water on her head and bring it to the temple. And Prabhupada says, for this simple service, she would go back to God. Carrying water. She was not even a pujari, she just carried the water. So the service is very powerful. I think we have no idea how powerful devotional service is. We think, okay, I'll do some cleanup, Especially after some time you do routine. Okay, I'm driving, boga run, we call it boga run, flower, bring flowers. But this is all transcendental services to Krishna. Every little single thing. Every step when we step around, yani kani chapapani, every step it says to destroy unlimited sins that you cannot commit even in one lifetime. For one step around Tulasi. And we step around Tulasi 10 years, 15 years, you don't even think about it, And how much benefit we get from this. How much benefit we get from going to Harinam, how much benefit we get from eating prasadam, from bowing down in front of the deities. That's amazing things. But we will see this when we die. Now we cannot see it. When we die, we'll see. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, anything else? Yes, Prabhu.
In Jagannath Puri, even when the persons are sleeping, Lord Jagannath
counts as a dandavat.
Yes.
So let's go sleep in Jagannath Puri. But here also in the temple, why is this here in the temple different? This is also land of Krishna. If you sleep here 6 hours, it's like, offering dandavats for 6 hours. So if you want to sleep, come to the town of Straße 40 and sleep,
That's my sleep.
Ekayani doesn't agree. No, don't sleep.
Maybe till 6 o'clock is still dandavat, but after 6 is already Maya.
Yeah, maybe, yes, maybe. Anyways, we should come to the temple to do service, not to sleep. Okay, Shri Jagannath Balav Subhadra ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Prabhupada ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai.